sometimes it's hard to embrace the happy of the holidays. And I think that what happens is, especially when you lose someone, life is never going to be the same again. A lot of us who've lost our mothers or fathers or children or spouses or whatever the tragedy that has gone on for your year, it's not easy. Christmas is not easy. It's not an easy festival because of all the brouhaha that happens. But I think what hope I cling to is, when it comes down to the heart of this season, the heart of Christmas is Christ. And what I cling to is that Jesus came on earth, He died for us, He rose again, He carries me through all the storms that I feel. And for me, truly this year, Jesus feels like the Christmas gift that no one can take away from me. I may not have my mom, but I will always have Jesus.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sangeeta.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Merry
May
Christmas, everyone.
God bless you. May God bless you. May God bless you, Sangeeta.
Thank you.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you. You're coming there. Okay.
By 10 in the morning, it'll be there for you.
Okay. Oh, happy birthday to me. Yum, thank you. George, happy Christmas, George.
Oh yeah.
Out.
More plates, hold on.
Oh, how nice. Very nice.
To answer what Christmas means to me, I would probably begin with telling you that Christmas is my birthday. 25th December is when I was born. So Christmas has a deeper meaning to me, not just because I'm a Christian and not just because of the Christmas story and that Jesus came and He was born and the shepherds and the three wise men. That all has been really beautiful, and it became more significant to me when I became a believer. But what Christmas was to me, ever since I was born, was a day where we would celebrate the biggest festival in our life. Christmas was a lot to do with my mom, more than because it was the one holiday that she had where all of us were together. Because we were in boarding school, we didn't have Easter, we didn't come together for any other holiday, so Christmas had to be big. I got lucky because that means my birthday became big. Although my brother did an article for Femina once, long time ago, asking me if I regretted being born on, because obviously I don't get double presents, or I have only one day and have to share that day with the festival. There are advantages and disadvantages of being born on Christmas. Of course, any Christmas baby will tell you that. But for me, 42 years of my birthdays with my mom were just meaningful and special, and it is hard. It is hard to process Christmas without my mom, and that is actually what I'm going to be talking about today. What Christmas is to me without my mom, and how I can continue, because obviously life has to go on. My mom passed away this year, and this is probably what this has made me realize. This whole few months of mourning the loss of my mom. See, like, there is one fact, is that I believe my mom is in heaven. That is a fact for me. I believe that I will see her again when I die. But I also know that I miss her. I miss her presence, and I miss moments. And actually, Christmas is a hard month for me because of those. Now, I doubt that it's going to get better, because in many ways, I feel like after she died, my whole family is broken. Like, we're all fractured. Maybe this is our way of dealing with our loss, but nothing is the same. And it's not just about a festival or a holiday, but I think what I've realized is that death changes you, and no matter who goes, no matter how, a person who dies close to you, it changes you. And I do want to talk about how we don't think about the people who've lost. Christmas is so much about celebration, but people are so alone and people are so lonely. And it isn't just about people who've lost family or friends during this time. It's also about people who just don't have anybody. They don't have anyone to celebrate this season with. I think, like, I keep talking about this, and I even in my newsletter talked about this. If you're watching this and you are privileged and blessed to be surrounded by people, I don't know how practical it is, but reach out to someone who you know, or you maybe you don't know, who needs someone. Like, extend a hand. I saw this post on Instagram about this couple who opened their home up from 12 to 2 and served free food to people who were alone and lonely. I think holidays are especially hard for people who've lost people or people who are alone. And I think that going through this process of losing my mom has really made me far more sensitive to look at the flip side. It isn't just about, oh, it's a holiday, let's celebrate. But it's about saying, how many people are lonely here, and how many people are alone during this holiday? How hard is it for people? So I don't have too many people looking at my videos, but I do want to say that if you are a person who's looking at this video and you have the luxury of opening your home or your heart to someone and welcoming them during holidays, please do so, because I'm pretty sure they appreciate it. That said, let's talk about Christmas. So this whole month, the only thing I really wanted to do was talk about my mom. I just, from the moment this month has begun, this season is so special because it was my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, and it's been 8 months since she's been not in our lives. And so for me now, more than crying and more than dealing with it in an immediate sense, it's the memories that I want to remember. And I don't really have too many people to talk about this with, so I'm choosing to talk about it in a video. So my favorite Christmas, I've had, like I said, 42 Christmases, right? I have lots of favorites. I think every Christmas is my favorite. But one of my favorite Christmases was when I was in Delhi and my mom and dad were in Bangalore. I think they were visiting my brother, and we all flew into Coimbatore. Okay, from Bangalore to Coimbatore and Delhi to Coimbatore. My flight was really long, and we reached Coimbatore on Christmas Eve, and we stayed in a hotel. All three of us in one room. I was like grumbling because I had to sleep on the floor, but and then we woke up Christmas morning. And we took a steam engine up from Coimbatore to Ooty. And that was my favorite Christmas. It wasn't just beautiful because of the steam engine, and we love trains and journey and forecasts and traveling. But it was meaningful because after we settled into a small cabin. We had a fireplace. we went out and we kind of gate crashed a church which was having a bonfire and caroling. We didn't even know them, like we didn't know anything. We just landed up and we joined them, which was really interesting because, you know, you would not think my parents would be so social and let's just go. But all three of us were like, let's go. And so we went and crashed a bonfire, a church bonfire, and they were obviously happy to have us, and we sang carols, and it was really nice to do this with my parents. And so that was my favorite Christmas. My worst Christmas, I have two. But one was, it was very stupid. I had just delivered my daughter, and I don't know what happened. I didn't calculate my body, my weakness, how tired I would get. But I decided to cook lunch for everyone in my family as a thank you for being there for me, regardless of how I was feeling. But that was a very stupid thing I did, and I just worked the whole day, and I was so tired and exhausted, and ended up in tears most of the day. So that was like my worst. But there was another one which was really not fun, and that one was after my grandmother had died about a few days before. And so my parents were in Delhi. I was living in Delhi, and my parents had come to my apartment, and they were there for Christmas. We attended church, went for lunch, but then after that they had to go to Jaipur for some work on Christmas. And I felt really bad because I was new in the city. I didn't know anybody. And I remember they left, and my mom used to joke because I used to always say, I want one Christmas where I'm alone. Now I don't. I miss her. But she said, I'm giving you that. You're alone this Christmas. Let's see what you do. But because I didn't know anybody, I didn't have any plans. It was like very boring. So I came home and I was so sad and again just in tears. And then, but it turned around. It became better. And that's actually what a lot of Christmases have eventually become. Like, just like life, it just turns around and becomes nice. But that day, my brother and my sister-in-law and my niece was a little baby at that time. They went into the snow and they made me a snow cake with candles and said happy birthday, and that was like the highlight of my so I was like for the whole day. But then when they sent that to me, and then we Skyped, and then I think they cut the cake, and it was really sweet. And then of course after that I spoke to my friend Robin. He was I think in Qatar during that time, and we spoke for a really long time. So it turned around. So I would say that birthday was bad, but then it became better. So generally Christmas was in our family like it's been like it changed over time, but essentially it was 12 o'clock. We would like it would turn 12, and then everyone would wish Merry Christmas and then Happy Birthday, or sometimes Happy Birthday, Merry Christmas, and then we would open presents, like Christmas presents, birthday presents. A lot of times because we had birthdays at that time, Amazon and all wasn't so diligent, but we would give birthday presents, back end birthday presents at that time and all that. So those things were super fun. And then after all the gifts were open, we would pray, and then we would like all go to our rooms and sleep, and then the next morning we would go to church, and then after that lunch, and then was the fun part, we would go for movies. Okay, now when I say movies, either it was one big movie that we watched, or maybe two, or maybe three. Even in Bhopal once we went for 3 films, and then in the evening a bunch of us from church, like a bunch of my church friends landed up. We took a boat ride in the night. We cut a cake on the boat. So it's been really wonderful. I don't know what the future holds, but I know that right now, remembering all these moments from my life where I've had 42 years of Christmases, it's really beautiful and meaningful, and having my mom and dad by my side and has been so nice. This year for my birthday, I decided that I didn't want to celebrate Christmas in its fun and frolicky way, like decorations, tree, all that I didn't want to do. But it's been a really meaningful period, because I think Christmas, when you remove all the fluff and you remove all the Christmas trees and decorations and the cookie making and all the things that I used to do, all you're left with is your loneliness and the reality that you are all alone, or else you are being carried, like how I feel that I'm being carried through this period of mourning that I'm going through, this storm that I'm going through. I'm being carried by Christ. And I think the reason I wanted to do this video was to encourage people, because I feel like when you go through a storm, or when you go through loneliness, or when you go through a tragedy, when you go through loss of a loved one, when you go through financial problems, when you go through feeling like you don't have any identity and you feel lost, all these things are very valid reasons for you to feel completely hopeless. But I think that what holds me in together is that I have Christ carrying me through all of this. There's a song that I keep remembering: with Christ in your vessels, you can smile at the storm, smile at the storm. Now, I may not be smiling, but right now I am. But it is true that right now the Christmas story is more meaningful to me, because I know that my hope in Jesus is that He is carrying me through. So when I acknowledge that, okay, this is when Jesus was born, He came to the world, He came to die, He came to save me, the festival and the holidays and the occasions and the all the brouhaha that comes along with this season has faded away, and I'm left with the true heart of this season, which is gratitude, to say thank you, Lord, for loving me enough to come and save me and die for me and carry me through all these moments in my life. And I think not just Christmas, but I think as a child, I have always grown up, when I began my walk with God, feeling like through all the storms I was being carried. And as the year ends, I feel like, whatever I go through, whatever we go through in life, we will always be carried. And that leaves me with a lot of hope and a feeling of joy, a joy that is not just ha 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 ha, but a joy that is deep and meaningful. So I want to encourage you, and if you are feeling alone and you're feeling lost, feel free to reach out. Reach out to me. I don't mind. I'm also I feel lost some days. It's important that you talk about what you're going through. It's important you find an outlet. My outlet is art. My outlet is podcasting. My outlet is videos. My outlet is movies. My outlet is food, which I'm trying to change. But just find something that gives you joy, which brings meaning to your life. And for me, that is Christ. And I wish, when I say I wish you a Merry Christmas, I'm not meaning like la 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 Merry Christmas. I really wish you the joy that I feel. And even though there is hurt, even though there is pain, but the hope, I wish you that hope. Thank you for joining me. And I really thought this video would be harder to do, but it's actually come out quite superfluous, so I'm really happy about that. So I really, with the bottom of my heart, wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and I will catch you in the next year. I hope you have a wonderful break and a time where you can reach out to friends and family and even strangers. If that's what makes you feel happy to go and give to strangers, please do that. It is my dream, by the way. I didn't talk about this. It is my dream. Okay, there are two dreams. Two dreams. One of my dreams is, I don't know if it's ever going to be possible, is to take a truckload of food and a truckload of clothes and blankets and just venture out and drive around the city and just love on people who are on the road, who are cold, who are hungry, and just give. Just give until our truck is empty. So that's one dream. And then the other dream is very Hollywoodized. It is Christmas Eve at Paris, and then Christmas Eve you take a flight. I need to travel on Christmas as a dream, right? So you take a flight, you land in New York and get lost in New York, and then you see all the Christmas sights, and it needs to snow. I know it's a very Western concept of snow and Christmas tree and all that. I miss that in India. Like I think a more practical Christmas wish, like ideal holiday would just be it snows. But I've never had Christmas and snow, so like I've had other things, but and not Christmas and snow. I think one of the problems of living in the tropics is that you have Christmas with like sunshine and the beach maybe, and a lot of times we would watch the sunset, and that was a nice way to celebrate the year end and all that. But if you are alone, find people like you and reach out to them. If you have lots of people around you and you have more room on your table, please invite them. I will never be able to celebrate Christmas with my mom again. I had 42 years of a great, lovely time with her, and now I embark on a new phase of understanding what Christmas is. But one thing that won't change is that I have the hope of Jesus, that no matter what storm I feel or I face, Jesus came to this earth and he died for me and he saved me, and that for me is possibly the best Christmas present that I could ever get. I know that it's hard to embrace the happy of the holidays for many people who are brokenhearted and feel alone and isolated. I know that I cling on to the hope that I have. I would encourage you that reach out to somebody, reach out to people who can help you, reach out to friends, family. Don't isolate yourself. It's so easy. I struggle with it. But I think knowing that you are loved and knowing that you are cherished is important. And like I said, for me, I know that I'll meet my mom again in heaven, and I believe that. And I really love that I have Christ. Whatever happens, no matter who goes, who dies, I will always have the gift of Jesus for me, holding me and carrying me through all the storms. Sometimes it's hard to embrace the happy of the holidays, and I think that what happens is, especially when you lose someone, life is never going to be the same again. A lot of us who've lost our mothers or fathers or children or spouses or whatever the tragedy that has gone on for your year, it's not easy. Christmas is not easy. It's not an easy festival because of all the brouhaha that happens. But I think what hope I cling to is when it comes down to the heart of this season, the heart of Christmas is Christ. And what I cling to is that Jesus came on earth. He died for us. He rose again. He carries me through all the storms that I feel. And for me, truly this year, Jesus feels like the Christmas gift that no one can take away from me. I may not have my mom, but I will always have Jesus. So here's wishing you a Merry Christmas. I know that it can be hard, but I'm so happy to share the hope that I have, and I hope that you will find the light that you can that can give you joy during this season. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching this video, and I will see you next year in a brand new video in a brand new year. Till then, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
One minute. I think it's happy birthday to me. Happy Christmas. Oh, happy birthday to me. Yum, thank you.
Happy birthday, dear Stella. Happy birthday to you.